What have you gained from being an embedded tutor?
It's helped me become a better student in my own classes because I'm modeling excellent student behavior when I'm in that specific class. That whenever I'm in my own classes, it helps me to think back to how I was acting in that class.
So I started off as a student tutor at Citrus College. Once I graduated with my AA in Spanish and sociology, I was able to become a professional expert. The transition wasn't as hard just because I had that experience tutoring already, and I did have to go through some of the trainings again just because it had been a while and I wasn't able to finish them when I was a tutor. But the transition was easy, and that helped me better mentor the tutors.
How has working at the Learning Center influenced your career goals or aspirations?
I'm currently a Cal Poly student. My major is Spanish, and I thought I wanted to be a Spanish teacher. But working here at the Writing Center, I've learned that I much prefer to become a English teacher or professor in the future. Specifically, teaching English as a second language. So I do want to get my graduate's degree in that. I have found that I like working with non-native English speakers, with ESL students. It's just so rewarding, and I've always had an interest in languages, so I think that's where that stems from, and the Writing Center has helped guide me into that direction.
So in 2006, I was hired as a peer tutor for English in tutorial. We didn't have the Writing Center at the time, and while I was a student, I worked as a peer tutor. When I transferred, we created the Writing Center, and I was hired as a Writing Center facilitator, and I became the tutor in a professional expert capacity. And then when I finished grad school, I became a lab supervisor, and I'm also an instructor. And so I think that I, without exaggeration, can say that working in a learning center has completely influenced where I am now. I am an instructor of English and also still working as a tutor. I tutor in our writing center, and I also tutor for another college in the prison system, and working with incarcerated men. And as much as I love teaching as an instructor, I think that probably my first love and best position is working as a tutor.
So as a STEM major, my main focus was always on my math and science classes, but working at the Learning Center has kind of clarified things for me. It's strengthened my communication ability, whether it's public speaking or even in my writing. And I've been able to use that in my major and create stronger lab reports and just pretty much stronger papers. Also, working at the Learning Center, it's also kind of encouraged me to go into the education field, even thinking about going into teaching. I love working with students. I love working in a collaborative learning environment, and just kind of that group process. Can you describe your shift and role changes?
Yes, so in 2015, I worked here as a student tutor. I was an English tutor in the Writing Center, and that's because one of my English professors really recommended that I work at the Writing Center so that I can develop my skills as far as tutoring and then maybe potentially teaching. After that, I transferred to get my bachelor's degree. And while I did that, I worked here as a professional expert. And as a professional expert, I really helped with mentoring and observing new tutors to kind of show them the ropes, teach them what I knew as a tutor so that they can apply those same things to their tutoring skills. And then recently in 2019, I became a lab supervisor. As a lab supervisor, again, I really just help with making sure everything is running smoothly and also developing new trainings and new techniques to support both our professional experts and our student tutors. Honestly, working at the Learning Center is kind of the whole reason why I am where I am today. I wouldn't be here if I didn't work at the Learning Center. Currently, I teach at Mount San Antonio College. I teach ESL. I also work here as a lab supervisor, and all of these skills that I have really never would have been developed or never really would have been mastered if I didn't work here at the Learning Center and if I didn't have those opportunities as a tutor and then again as a professional expert. So really being here has helped me so much in my own growth and in my own development.